Let's take the conversation on to PSG then, because there's been so much talk this week about Maurizio Pochettino. And there's one thing you noticed in this game where you sort of said to us in the green room before we came out here, you were like, yeah, at this point, it's 7 against 10 outfield players, really.
This is just a short clip, but this, in a few seconds, is why I believe Paris Saint-Germain won't win and can't win the Champions League. People have been saying for years and years, Paris Saint-Germain will win it. I've never had them. And just watch this, how easy it is for Manchester City to get out. More so than how easy it is, if you just stop it here, I mean, there is not any, you know, in these three players here, there's not a will at all to run back. It's walking, it's jogging. And look at that, you've basically got, what, 9 players, is it, of Manchester City there? 8 players against the 7. You do the counting, Rio. I mean, you simply can't have 8 players against 7.
Yeah.
OK, you might get away with it for this attack, but you cannot do that against good teams like Liverpool, against Man City, against Chelsea. Look at the players that we've circled. They're only just breaking into their own half. There is no effort, nothing to get back. And I'm afraid you can't be outnumbered like that against good teams and survive.
And you know what? I've never, ever in my life played in a game where I've been here and I've been one of these players here. I've never, ever played in a game where I've seen that and allowed that. The best teams don't allow that to happen. As great as these three are, and listen, you can't deny the talent that these three have, but to win the big trophies, you cannot allow that to happen. Whether you're a player, a manager, you have to make more demands on people like
We've seen it before, Jake. It's not just this example. I mean, when Liverpool battered Barcelona 4-0 at Anfield, it was the same situation. There was 2 or 3 players that walking back. We were talking earlier, when Paris Saint-Germain went to Anfield, I know it was 3-2 to Liverpool, but 3-2 flattered them. Absolutely flattered them. Liverpool battered Paris Saint-Germain. Again, carrying 1 or 2 players. I think you can carry great players. Of course you can have great players, but great players that simply don't work hard enough out of possession, I don't think you can. You can carry 1 or 2 maybe back in the day. Maybe nowadays you can carry 1 if he's exceptional. You can't carry 3 players that aren't going to run back. You simply can't do it.
Do you know what as well? I've seen on social media, and Jake would have seen it as well, and we're speaking in the green room about people saying, well, if Pochettino's struggling with this team, who on paper better players than what Man United have got, if you look to them as a collective, how's he going to do if he goes to Man United? Is he the man? Is he not the man? But I think to counter that argument, I think you look at Thomas Tuchel, when you mentioned the game at Anfield, we were there and done the Thomas Tuchel PSG team against Liverpool. He couldn't get this Paris Saint-Germain team going in Champions League. So I don't think it's fair probably to judge Pochettino based on what he's doing here at Paris Saint-Germain. You look before that in his time at Espanyol, Southampton and Tottenham.
He'll have to be playing half of these players. I mean, simply has to play them. You can't drop some of these huge names, Mbappe or Messi or Neymar. You've got to play them. So his hands are tied in a way. A little bit like when I went over to Real Madrid for the Galactico era. The president simply demanded that 5, 6 of the Galacticos had to play every single game. It's non-negotiable.
And they weren't good enough.
Of course they were.
Is that what you're saying?
But it's the same thing, isn't it? Of course they're good enough. They are. They're some of the best players in the world. But can you have all of these best players in the world all in the same team and win a Champions League? Playing like that, I don't think so.
And you know what as well? When you cast your mind back to the Barcelona team, when they had Suarez up front with Neymar and Messi either side, they worked. It wasn't like I watched them at Arsenal at the Emirates, and as much as I was on the edge of my seat looking at them in terms of the way they played with the ball, it was as much off the ball what they done as well. So when you have great players up front, and we talk about the front three there, this front three today for PSG, we talked before, you look at the Barcelona front threes, you look at the Man United in my time's front threes, you look at other front threes all over different generations, you can get them working, it's got to be demands put on them. You've got to demand it.